Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be on top of the world, only to have it all come crashing down in a single moment? That's the story of Julius Caesar, one of history's most powerful men, and his shocking, brutal end. Let's set the scene. It's the Ides of March. 44 BC, Rome is buzzing. Caesar has just been declared dictator in perpetuity, basically a king in all but name. He's a military genius, a master politician, and a hero to the common people. He's reformed the calendar, conquered vast territories, and is planning a massive invasion of Parthia. To many, he's the savior of Rome, but to others, he's a tyrant in the making, a threat to the very idea of the Roman Republic. A group of about 60 senators, calling themselves the Liberators, believed Caesar's ambition had to be stopped. At any cost, their leaders, to men who Caesar considered friends, Marcus Junius, Brutus, and Gaius Cassius Longinus. Brutus was particularly torn. He admired Caesar, but he was also a descendant of the man who had overthrown Rome's last king centuries earlier. He felt a deep, ancestral duty to protect the Republic. The morning of March 15th was filled with ominous signs. Caesar's wife Calpurnia had a nightmare about holding his bleeding body and begged him not to go to the Senate. Priests performing a sacrifice found the animal had no heart, a terrible omen. Caesar was initially spooked and decided to stay home. But one of the conspirators, Decimus Brutus, not to be confused with Marcus Brutus, came to his house. He mocked the omens and persuaded Caesar that the Senate was waiting to honor him. He convinced him that staying home would look weak, cowardly. Caesar, ever conscious of his image, relented. He arrived at the portico of the Theater of Pompey, where the Senate was meeting. As he sat on his gilded chair, the conspirators surrounded him, pretending to present a petition. One of them, Tillius Cimber, grabbed Caesar's toga and pulled it down from his neck. This was the signal. Immediately, another senator, Cusca, lunged forward and stabbed Caesar in the neck. Caesar, shocked, grabbed Casca's arm and cried out in Latin, "Vile Casca, what is this you do?" Then, chaos erupted. The other senators drew their hidden daggers and swarmed him. They had all agreed that each one of them must strike a blow to share the responsibility. Caesar fought back, trying to defend himself with his stylus, a small writing instrument, but he was hopelessly outnumbered. He staggered, blinded by his own blood, until he saw a familiar face in the crowd of assassins. Marcus Brutus, the man he had mentored, the man he saw as a son. According to the historian Suetonius, Caesar's last words, spoken in Greek, were "Kaisu tenon, you too, my child." With that final heartbreaking betrayal, he stopped fighting. He pulled his toga over his head so no one would see him die, and fell at the base of a statue of his great rival, Pompey. It was a terribly ironic end. The autopsy later revealed he had been stabbed 23 times, though only one wound, to the chest, was fatal. The assassins, covered in Caesar's blood, ran into the streets, shouting, "Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead." But they didn't find the cheering crowds they expected. Instead, they found silence, fear, and confusion. The people of Rome loved Caesar. His assassination didn't restore the Republic. It plunged Rome into more than a decade of civil war. In the end, it was Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, who would rise from the ashes, defeat the assassins, and become Augustus, Rome's first true emperor. The conspirators had killed the man, but they had birthed an empire. And so, the very act meant to save the Republic ultimately destroyed it, proving that sometimes the road to tyranny is paved with the best of intentions. Thanks for watching. If you found this dive into history fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the past. See you next time.